Well, good morning, folks. Hope this finds everyone doing well because we are live right back here, Open Pagan Church. Hope everyone's doing well. And I realize, considering when my alarm went off this morning, I rolled over and said, 30 more minutes, please, because I was no longer used to getting up at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So, yep, had to drag my old self out of bed and get in here, and damn, I've missed doing it. Well, our topic to start out, I guess, the new year of Open Pagan Church, considering what January 28th the internet went down, and it's been down until about 8-9 days ago now. So our upstreams are still a little slow, but they're not too bad. I'm in the green. Excuse me. And of course, it is allergy season. Yippee. Right. Well, I hope the sound of both air conditioners and the servers is not too overwhelming. If it gets too loud, or the background noise gets too loud, tell me. Although I don't know much what I could do about it because the servers have to run and the ACs have to run. I may have to find a different location to do Sunday morning church. Well, good morning to everyone who's joining. Good to see you guys back around. Our topic today is going to be the journey. The journey. It's not how we're going, but how we get there. And so many of us in the pagan philosophy, we talk about the journey, how we get there, how we go about getting there. And there's a couple of major things that I was dreaming about last night while in discussion with Spirit Guide and Council on what the topic really needed to be today. And I think back at my journey to get where I am today. I think about the things that have happened to me and my family and friends and people around me that have gotten me, stroke us, to where we are today. Some of the mistakes we've made, or were they truly mistakes? Or were they a part of things that had to happen for that journey? Well, we're going to talk about some of these things this morning, and you can feel free, in fact, I hope you will, put in the chat some of the decisions that you've made that may have changed your journey, where maybe you thought you were on one path and then something happens that derails that path and sticks you on a completely different road going up a completely different direction. The journey. That is our topic for the day. And yes, I have a new Dr. Pepper bottle. This thing is awesome. Buddy of mine at work gave it to me. He's like, Maxwell, I am really tired of seeing you with that poor, beat up, ragged old Dr. Pepper bottle in that koozie. Here, take this. It's even computer safe, which means it's Don safe. Yeah. So, how how are journeys chosen? Do I choose my own journey? Do you choose your own journey? Do you choose your own ending point? Or do you say, this is where I would like to be when my time on earth is done, in this lifetime? I know when I was younger, in my teens and 20s, I had no concept that my journey would be a pagan minister, a shaman master, and a spiritual leader of one of the many spiritual leaders of the pagan community. Had no idea. If someone had told me even when I was in my early 30s that I would be where I am today, I would ask them I would ask them if they had lost their freaking minds. But the journey that I've taken on this wonderful, amazing, wisdom infused trip has been awesome. I've met some unbelievable people, some very spiritual leaders in their own right, some very wise individuals, both young and old. And I think I'm going to have to say, each journey that each of us are on, we all have heroes on our way. And I'm not talking about Captain America, the hero. I'm not talking about Thor, the hero. I'm talking about heroes of people, or places, or things that have made the changes that needed to be made along the way. Things that have changed, that have maneuvered us where we needed to be. Sean, thanks, dude. But see, I have to say that one of my heroes over the last 12 years has been my daughter. She has helped me on my journey in many ways. Bless her heart, her bouncy, go everywhere, willy nilly ability as a child has refreshed my energy in some levels. There are things that I do that I used to think, well, too old for that shit. But we still wrestle and tussle and play and excuse me, keeps me alive inside. And something rather strange that some of you may not understand. Each of you that get up and join us here on Sundays, you are also my heroes. Because each of you have your own chaos going on, your own journey taking place. And yet you take about an hour out of your Sunday to join us here and share your wisdom, your thoughts, your ideas. Robert, as sick as he is, doing the things that he does for the Dallas pagan community. Kim just joined, been a longtime friend of mine for many years. With her ailments and the things that she has, in California, fighting for the animals' rights. Way to go, Kim. Kim has always been one of my heroes along my journey. So each of us on our journey, we have our heroes as we go along. I've had many, and I have many today. But what is the journey? Well, one of my journeys was to quit smoking tobacco cigarettes. I went from smoking to vaping in '09, never looked back, stayed with it. That has been a journey sometimes. My journey in the '80s when I quit smoking or quit doing drugs and alcohol in the '80s. That was a journey. But here's a question for you, and it's something I've always asked my students. When they've come to me for shamanic training, one of the questions I ask them, you're on a road, you have 3 paths on your journey. You have 3 choices. And in my chosen path, everything we do, we have 3 choices. Not just 2, but 3. Choice 1, take the path of least resistance, the straighter shot, the one where you get from point A to point B, you're there, you've ended the journey, but what have you learned? Have you learned that nothing? Have you learned anything by just jumping from point A to point B? That's not a journey. Or option 2, you travel your journey on the backs of others. Excuse me. What this means is, by traveling your journey on the backs of others, you rely on others to do everything for you so that they just kind of drag you along. But is that truly a journey, or is that simply relying on everyone else to do everything else for you, and you haven't really learned anything? What have you learned from that journey? And then there's the third path. The path where you have to swim the waters, walk the fire, you have to learn to fly through the sky. You have to learn to fall and get back up, climb the mountains, go through the woods and the trees and deal with the sticker briars and the bushes, live off the land, defend yourself, and fend for those that you love. As crazy as it may sound, that is the journey I've always chose. I don't want to just be there, right? I want to learn along the way. And I damn sure don't want to make my journey on the backs of others. I don't want everybody else to do it for me. Absolutely, help me along the way. If I fall, help me get up. There are times where I got to get my own ass up and move on and take the next step. Nowadays, with my knees the way they are, getting out of bed is a journey. There you go. But step 3, or path 3, if you will, is learning how to deal with the chaos, the fires, the glass, the broken glass, dropping things and spilling them, cleaning them up and learning, making friends and losing friends, building loved ones and losing those loved ones. As painful as it is, it's a part of the journey. Sean says flow, right. You go with the flow and the momentum of life around you. Well, herein brings some of the other topics that I've had through the years. Momentum, right? Momentum, chaos, karma, acceptance, accepting life for what it is, and moving on. I know that 2 years ago in my job, the parent company started taking over the company that I was hired to work for. My journey was derailed or railroaded and slammed up against a brick wall. Everything I did, everything I knew, changed overnight. January of this year, they flipped the switch and completely took over, and everything changed. Angry? Yes. Pissed off? Yes. Almost quit? Yep. Several times. Sometimes several times a day. But it's still a job. It is a job that pays decent, and it is a place to go much better than a lot of others today, especially in the DFW area, where jobs are not real plentiful. So your journey, maybe your end goal is the same, but how you get there is going to change. It's going to flip-flop. You're going to have some days where chaos will reign, and you're going to have some days where they're relatively an easy, smooth day. You know what needs to be done, you do what needs to be done, you take care of business, and you move on. That's the journey. Let's see what some of the guys are saying in the chat. Robert talking about a bit of his journey. Well, see, um, I know, Robert, who you're talking about, and a death certificate says natural causes. That's good. We all want to die of natural causes, though sometimes our family and friends may not understand. But I have always told my wife and my family that when my journey is done in this lifetime, bid me well, have a drum circle, throw a party, because the sun's going to rise again the next day. So, as a part of our journey, when that journey comes to an end, it may be time for me to go home, but it is time for others to move on, to continue living, to continue their journey. Sean says, not seeing others chat. Refresh your page, Sean. Um, Sometimes Facebook has a tendency to eat the live feed, and the only way you can get it back is to refresh the page. I know I can't refresh my page because I will lose the streaming. Yeah, so if I start losing the chat, um, and if somebody notices I'm not replying to chat, please text me on my cell phone and let me know. And I'll open another page so that I can see what's going on. So, what is, and I'm not asking for details, but what have you noticed in your journey? What are some of the things that have changed? Has your ending journey changed? Where you want to be, wherever so many years from now, or at the end of your lifetime in this lifetime, has your journey changed? Has your ending goal changed? I know mine has multiple times. At 56, my journey and where I thought I wanted to be 20 years ago is nothing what it actually has become. And oh boy, 30 years ago, I had no clue, no idea, none. 20, 20 plus years ago, 20 plus years ago, when I was asked to join some of the pagan communities early on, I had absolutely no idea what the hell they were talking about. What is it you want me to do? We want you to be you. Okay. I don't think community's ready for me to be me, but well, here we go. And it worked. And to a degree, it's still working. Granted, we no longer have a place to hold circle. I will say, though, that our journey has led us out of the neighborhood that we lived in. Thank the gods for that to a degree. And we have moved in to help take care of my parents. So we downsized. Boy, did we downsize. From 1,300 square foot to 368 square foot. Now, of course, we're not counting the square footage of the office. We're not counting the square footage of our daughter's room. And we're not counting the square footage of the walk-in closet and the big bathroom on our end of the house. That's 368 square foot of our bedroom, the kitchen, and the living room. There is no dining room. But the journey has led us to less stress, easier economic times because we're sharing the bills of the house now. We help each other, as families should. So, our ending goal is still essentially the same. But the journey to get there has changed. We knew it would. My wife and I knew that the day would come where we would be helping take care of my parents, and that's fine. I look at it this way. They changed my diapers when I was a baby and took care of me when I was sick. Why not pay it forward? Take care of them, help them. Luckily, by the grace of the gods and goddesses, they're still mobile and relatively independent for now. But that journey changed. So how has your journey changed for you? Like I say, maybe your ending goal hasn't changed. Maybe where you want to be hasn't changed. But the way that you get there, the journey that you take, the moves that you make to get there, how have they changed for you? Post it in the chat area. We'd like to share. And while we're doing that, we're 5 minutes before the hour. So I'm going to take a moment to do a public service announcement. And in that public service announcement, in that public service announcement, I would like to reiterate one of the things that Open Pagan Church stands for, and the House of Pagans group, what we stand for there as well. Yes, we are an open pagan church. We are pagan based, pagan operated. I would say pagan funded, but there's no funding. You don't have to be pagan to listen in, put in opinions and thoughts and ideas. You're welcome to be atheist, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, agnostic, whatever. We don't care. We're interested in the human aspect, not the religious aspect. So with that, I'm going to take a few minutes, let my voice rest a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about journeys. Maybe your journey. Maybe you have some questions about your journey and things that you want to see happen. So enjoy a bit of music for a minute while I let my voice rest, and we'll be right back, in about 5 minutes. So, Sean says he's back, but can't see anyone else. Um, Everyone say hello to Sean. See if he's getting feed. See if he's getting live feed. I don't know. It's kind of weird the way Facebook does that. Kind of creepy if you ask me. Ah, he's on his phone, so he may not. I know when I've done broadcast on my phone, I had to ask Camille to open up the feed on her end and read me off what everyone else is saying because I couldn't see anything but the broadcast. So, what we're talking about, and if anyone else is typing and I'm not seeing it, I'm seeing what Sean is typing, and Sean is seeing what I'm typing. But is anyone else seeing what anyone else is typing? Or is that part of the journey? Who the hell knows? I can tell you that in our conversation of the journey, here's a thought. How many of us forget to have fun on our journey? Hmm? How many of us forget to enjoy our journey as much of it as we can? How many of us forget to go out and go on holiday, take a couple of days off? Of course, kind of hard for me to go to the beach considering we really don't have a beach anymore, but we have a lake. And this summer we are going to spend some time out at the lake. Sean Robert says he does see you typing. Very good. So you are at least showing up. But so many people that I have met through the years of being a pagan minister. I have seen so many people that have lost touch with having fun with their journey. They get they get focused, they get tunnel vision, and the only thing they see is what's right here. That little needle point at the end of their nose is the only thing they see. They don't look out the window. They don't look around and see what's around them. They don't go outside and sit with Mother Nature, many of them. We have a number of our pagan family that are in New York, areas of California, that are two totally ends of the U.S., and that's not even to mention those in other countries that either can't or don't, for whatever reason, go sit with Mother Nature. Paganism is a earth-based religion, folks. Paganism, the foundation of paganism, is not the concrete world. It's not sitting in the house watching TV. It's getting out with the mother. Now, granted, there are those poor folk that are allergic to grass. My poor stepmom, for example, she loves being outside, but she's allergic to grass. I couldn't imagine being allergic to grass. Of course, I have to cut the grass. So could any of you imagine if I was allergic to grass? Holy shit. So there are those of you out there that are allergic to life, and I feel for you. But if you can, if at all capable, at least once a day, go outside. If the sun hurts you, find a shade tree. Touch the tree. And yeah, if you're allergic to trees, I'm sorry, but touch the tree. Learn to have fun with your journey. Step outside of your comfort zone. And I'm going to say this, and it's not going to be politically correct. So for those of you that wear your hearts on your sleeve, you may want to reach up and hang on to it, because I may be fixing to thump it off your shoulder. Your pagan journey is not stuck in front of a computer screen, a television, a video game, or a book. All of these things are great. The internet is great. Google is great. Television is good. Video games are okay. But you're not going to find your journey in a book, a TV screen, a computer monitor, or the internet. You're just not. Yeah, okay, you can talk to people through the internet. Yeah, Facebook is kind of cool. Twitter, I don't tweet much. Tweedledee. But you're only going to find that journey if you get off of your keister and get out. If you're in a wheelchair, you don't have to walk. Me, on these legs, I have to walk. Very grateful that I can. Don't get me wrong. If you suffer from, let me make sure I get this right, agoraphobia. Is that it? Agoraphobia, the fear of leaving the house. Do your best to get outside at least once a day. Your journey is not stuck in the house. That may be a part of your journey. But the only way that you can find that path forward and you can keep moving forward is to do that. Now, like I say, if you have an illness that confines you to the home, your body simply will not function to get outside. I get it. But do something to bring the outside in. Do something to bring a piece of Mother Nature in with you, especially if you're pagan. Sean says, your journey is within oneself and without oneself. He also says, and greater than oneself. Absolutely. We are but a speck of sand in a very, very large beach. It's when we step outside of those other grains of sand that we find out we're not bad people. I go through my stages where all I want to do, because I am flat ass knackered, where all I want to do is sit and watch TV. Take yesterday, for example. Was cold, rainy, mucky outside. Bleh. I did get a little bit moved around in the office and cleaned up, but for the most part, I didn't get out of bed till 1 o'clock. Yeah. I think I was in bed by 9:30 or 10, and I didn't even know the world was turning until 1 p.m. yesterday afternoon. And then I didn't do anything till about 7 o'clock yesterday evening. Got up, came back here, did the test broadcast, did some moving around in the office, wanted to be sure we were going to have a good upstream. There are times where you just have to simply take the day off. And that's an interesting statement that Sean makes. To move forward, you must first lose oneself. Makes sense. Jennifer says, it seems I'm supposed to be patient. When I decide to act against that, it blows up in my face. Twice, I am now listening to the goddess. Should have been patient. When will I just learn? Well, Jennifer, some of us are a wee bit more hard-headed than others, and we continue to beat our head against the metaphysical brick wall. Been there, done that. Still do it on occasion myself. But patience is not something that humans find easy. I know I don't. My wife and friends sometimes tell me I have the patience of a saint. No, I don't. Well, I sometimes tend to have more patience with other people than I do with myself. And I think that might stand true for a lot of us. Sometimes we have more patience with others than we have with ourselves. But I know that a part of my journey, like Jennifer's, has been to learn to be patient with myself. I will remind you of this, though. If you haven't learned this yet, or you're just coming in to the pagan philosophy, or not even just pagan philosophy, but if you're young and you're trying to find your way, I will say this. Don't ask for patience. I'll say that again. Don't ask for patience. The cosmos will test your ass 9 ways from Sunday to help teach you patience. Ask for the wisdom to understand when to have patience and when to push through. Ask for the wisdom to know when to have patience and when to just push through. Jennifer, maybe that's an idea for you. Go to altar if you have one. Light a candle if that's what you do. Or go sit under a tree and ask your gods and goddesses or your cosmos or whoever you follow. Okay. I've been known to do this, okay? I've been known to go out and sit under a tree. Me, I like to sit under the north side of the tree because the natural energy of the earth flows north to south, okay? I like to sit under the north side of the tree. I take a deep breath and I say, okay, I give up. I get it. Okay? I do. I get it. I'm really tired of the sticker burrs going up my feet on this journey. I'm really tired of getting smacked upside the head with a effing 2x4 on this journey. I'm really tired of not knowing when I am supposed to be patient and when I am supposed to persevere. So I will ask counsel to help me understand the wisdom of when to have patience and wait and stop, when to persevere and when to just push through like a bulldog or a horse, the horse's ass that I am. An old friend of mine used to call me a winged jackass. Yeah, well, she wasn't too far off. But the journey can be fun if we make it fun. I mean, I know a lot of times, well, every time we have to do work on the roof and I have to put up new shingles and tiles and make repairs. I don't know of a single time I've ever worked on a roof that I haven't hit my thumb at least once with a freaking hammer. I've learned over time to laugh at myself and not throw the hammer. I have a temper. Me? Yeah, I have a temper. And sometimes it's on a real short fuse. But I have learned. I have learned along my journey that road rage is expensive. I've learned on my journey that losing my temper and not maintaining my verbal filter is also expensive. Luckily, my new boss kinda has a good sense of humor. So once or twice a week, he will IM me through the company IM, and he will say in his opening IM, okay, Maxwell, open chat. What is your bitch today? Really? You're going to ask me that? We've had an entire week of Mondays. Today is Friday, and it's still a Friday of a Monday, and you're going to say, open chat. What is your bitch today? I still have to take a deep breath because I know that our chats are monitored. I know that everything we say on company chat is stored. It's kept in history for 5 years, and then it automatically falls off. So I still have to maintain And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, this is all a part of the journey, especially mine. I have a very weak vocal filter when it comes to speaking what's on my mind, especially if someone asks. So, what do you think about the situation? Shit, they really just asked me that. And the whole time my brain is going, shut up, shut up, don't say that. My mouth is going to blah 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 blah. You son of a bitch, blah 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 blah. Not good for the journey. Or maybe it's a part of the journey. It's a part of that journey to help me understand how to help others with their filter. When to say and what to say the right things, when, where, and how. Patience is a part of a lot of people's journey. We're in a society today where everybody wants it now. Instant gratitude. I have a video library that I've started on one of the servers some years ago. And when I hit download, I want it now. I want the movie now. I want to watch it now. Well, 6 months ago, I had that. It was almost now. I could download a 1 gigabit movie in less than 30 minutes. Now, it takes 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, sometimes 3, to download a 1 gigabit movie. But that's part of the journey. Dead on there, Sean, dead on. Sean says people don't want the truth. He says we're not assholes until we tell them the truth. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. I think I did a couple of videos on people can't take the truth. Me, if I ask someone how they feel or what they think about something I'm doing, I want them to tell me the truth of their perception. And see, herein lies another part of that journey, folks. Another broadcast I did was on perception. Our perception of the events is only 1% of the fact. I'll say that again. Your perception of the fact is only 1% of the true fact. Everyone has different perceptions of the truth. My truth may not always match your truth of an event at hand. Some people may truly love our digital broadcast of Open Pagan Church because it gives them the ability to interact with like-minded people. I've had other people tell me that a digital church is a complete and total utter waste of time because nobody learns anything. Chris has been typing to you for 20 minutes. Robert, I haven't seen anything come across from Chris. Um, yes, definitely. If Chris is trying to get in touch with me and it's not coming through, he needs to he needs to not try to put a single book in a single post because because of my dyslexic, I can only read a paragraph or a two at a time. I can't read an entire book. The boy needs to hit enter. We've only got a few more minutes left of the broadcast. He needs to hit enter quick because if he's got 5 or 6 paragraphs, I'm gonna have no. Don't post a book. I won't be able to reply to it until later. Hell. Anyway, part of the journey. Part of the journey. Have fun with your journey. Enjoy it. Don't become so focused on that journey that you lose track of everything else around you. Like another part of my journey, all right, Sean. He says sometimes you can't read short shit either. You're right. Well, sometimes I don't see it. But I will tell you, up and coming part of my journey is I am going to go see a neurologist. Any of you that have known me for any length of time know that I shake. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but my shaking has gotten worse. So, as soon as I can, I will be going to see a neurologist to find out what the hell's going on. Robert, tell Chris to hit enter. Put an end to it and hit enter so that we have time to read it. Right. Sean says life is the journey. Flow with it. Change. Accept what it is. I finally heard from Kim, my old friend. Embrace your journey and always say thank you for whatever comes your way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always say thank you. Okay. Camille says he did hit enter. Camille says he did send it. Okay, I don't see it. Does anybody else see Chris's message? Maybe it just hasn't come across to me yet. But Kim says embrace your journey and always say thank you. Absolutely. Jennifer doesn't see it. I don't see it. Tell you what, I'm gonna open. I'm gonna open another page of holy shit. Camille just copied and pasted into an IM to me and like to scared the pee waddle poo out of me. Alright, let me see. I don't see his post. I do not even see his post. Okay. Alright, guys. Y'all chat amongst yourselves just a moment. I'm going to try to read this thing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I am going to copy and paste his story in here. Alright, so you guys let me know if you see that. And I'm going to give us. It's a one keg post. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so I'm going to give us all a minute to take a read because I want to give Chris the same respect that we do everyone else in their post. And let's take a moment and read this thing and see what the young man says. I'm going to mute my mic for just a second here while we read through this. Well, I can tell you, most most of the guys that are reading that read a hell of a lot quicker than I did. So I'm going to presume everybody's read it. And I want to say something here towards the end of our broadcast about Robert Aaron and the Dallas Pagans. Robert's a good bird. Robert's good people. He's done a lot for the pagan community here in the Dallas area. Robert's definitely Robert, and he's a little eccentric, but I love him to death. He works real closely with Camille, and Camille works real closely with him on getting things done for the pagan community. I'm not much into paperwork. I'm perfectly fine with public speaking and what have you. But Robert has helped a lot of people on their journey, and I hope we've been able to help Robert along his journey. There's a symbol of a young man who has been through some major shit, and he's still standing, and he's still on his journey. Multiple personalities is nothing to play with. I've known many people through the years that have had multiple personalities, severe schizophrenic, and major bipolar. It's never easy. That is a journey that I am very pleased that I was never put on. So Chris, I can tell you, from my standpoint, I wish you all the blessings in the world on your journey. Jennifer, I know you've been going through some major chaos in yours as well. So I am going to ask this one little thing. People who watch our broadcast, both live and pre-recorded, as you read the stories that are put in our chat area, light a candle for them. I know that I don't necessarily have an altar right now because we don't have room, but my altar in the astral stays lit 24/7 for these people in our pagan family and in our pagan community. And what I think is the most important, folks, is don't just light candles for people in the pagan community. Light candles for the global community. Global society right now is in a major toss of chaos. I could get all political and rant and rave about the whys and the wherefores, but that's not why I'm here. Each of us has a journey. Each of us may have many journeys and many paths in which to reach those journeys. And I assure you, a lot of our journeys, like right here on Open Pagan Church and on other groups that we may be on, our journeys will cross. And our journeys may help support each other. Our journeys may inadvertently, accidentally pull us apart. And if it does, that's fine. But I leave these words of encouragement with each of you as you go forward on your daily journey. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are and where you're going. If you're one of those people that can't handle the truth, maybe a part of your journey is to stop and listen. Someone might say something to help you on. If people set out to harm you or hurt you, just get away from them. They're not worth it. Chris, thank you for posting your story. Robert, Kim, Sean, Jennifer, Michelle, everybody that I saw join us here today, and even those that I didn't mention because my brain's about that short. Thank you for watching. Those of you that watch the pre-recorded broadcast later, do remember that we are here every Sunday that we have internet from 9:30 a.m. till around 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I will be on this evening with Live with the Shaman. So we'll see you this evening. Watch for the post. I will be posting. It's good to see you guys again. Thank you for watching Open Pagan Church. Have a great week.